Hello and welcome to this new video tutorial of General Data Protection Regulation extension for Magento 2. And using this extension, the customers can request data update or delete to the admin and can access or download the data in PDF or HTML format for themselves. Apart from that, all of this data is related to the customer's account, orders, cart, and the address. The admin can enable the customer data consent on the registration and on the account edit page on the front end. The admin can also enable cookie notice on each page and can also waive customer data update and delete requests that have been set by the customers. And apart from that, on each status update, the customer is being notified via the emails. So let's go ahead and let's see how this extension works. But before that, let's go to the admin backend configuration of this extension and let's check what different configuration settings are there for this extension. And after that, we'll be seeing that how this GDPR or General Data Protection Regulation extension works at the front end. So first, we'll be going to the admin backend and we'll be configuring this extension. And after that, we'll be going to the front end as well. So we'll be logging into the admin backend panel first. And after that, we'll be going to the backend configuration settings for this extension. So for that, we'll be navigating to Stores, Configuration, and on the left hand side under the Web Pool block, you'll see that the GDPR settings menu option is visible there. And here on this page, we have four different settings out there. So the very first option that we have is the general settings. And here we have an option to select the enable GDPR as yes or no. So if you have selected this option as yes, then the GDPR module would be enabled at the front end and you'll be able to make use of its functionality. Else if you have selected this option as no, then this module won't be enabled and we won't be able to check or make use of the GDPR module. After that, we have the customer agreement settings. Here, the admin can enable the customer data agreement. So if you have selected this option as no, then the agreement option would be visible on the front end at the registration page. After that, you can enter the agreement checkbox label. So whichever label you want to add in, you can add those lines here. And after that, you can enter the agreement content within this section. That's the agreement content. Here you can click on the show or hide editor as well, and this brings up this editor here wherein you can type in your agreement content. That would be visible to the customers after they have clicked on the I agree to the terms and conditions label that would be created at the front end. So on the front end, here you have that I agree to the terms and conditions option. So for which we entered the label name, and after clicking that, we can see the content that we have entered in the admin backend here. So this was the agreement checkbox label that we entered. We have set it as yes, so it's enabled at the front end. If it would have been disabled, then this checkbox option and this label would not be there. So we have set that. We have set the agreement content as well, and that would be visible to the customer after he has clicked on that I agree link that we have created there. So that was about the customer agreement settings. After that, we have the cookie message settings. Now here the admin can enable or disable the cookie notice that would be displayed to the customer when he arrives on a certain page. So if you have selected this as yes, then the cookie would be visible at the front end. Now you can also select the display position of the cookie. So under the option cookie block display position, if you have selected it as bottom right, then the cookie would be displayed to the right hand side of your screen. So here you can see that I'm on a page, and because we have selected it as right, so the cookie is being displayed on the right hand side. If you have selected this block for the left hand side, then this cookie would have been displayed on the left hand side here. So the customer just needs to select got it, or he needs to OK this up. So that was about the cookie block display position. So we have selected it as bottom right. So after that, we have the cookie static block identifier. You need to select the cookie block identifier that has the content for this cookie block. So you can create yours as well, or you can edit the already created cookie block, and you can edit the content that's in there. After that, we have the email template settings. Here we have three templates to select. The very first one is a data update request template. So whichever email we have selected for this, that would be used for sending the data update request email to the customer. Similarly, the data delete request template is there. Whenever data delete request is requested by the customer, at that time this email would be sent. And similarly, when you request for a status update, the request status update template would be made use of, and that email would be sent to the customer. So these were the four settings that are there. The general settings to enable or disable the settings, the customer agreement settings were there, the cookie message settings were there, and the email template settings were there. So after making all the settings, we can save this data here by clicking the save configuration button, and that's all for the configuration setting.